Hi, my name is Jasmine Storr, and I'm a Greenhouse Scholar. Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the benefits of being involved in student organizations and on-campus clubs. So with that, let's get right into it. So a little bit more about me. I am currently a fourth year at the University of Denver, and during my time at DU, I've been involved with numerous organizations. So for one, I was involved in the Asian Student Alliance as the chief of logistics. I am still involved in Theta Nu Xi Multicultural Sorority Incorporated. I was a president for 2 years and currently the sisterhood chair. I was also involved in Women in Business as I was a vice president for a year and then transitioned into being the director of DEI, sustainability, and community outreach. Additionally, I was involved in DU Service and Change. I was co president for 2 years and on the executive board for a year. I am also involved in Colorado Women's College as an executive board member, and I've been so for the past 3 years, and as well as a peer mentor. And I'm also a peer mentor in the honors program. So, as you can see, I'm very well involved in the DU campus and a lot of student organizations. So as you can see, I'm very well involved in a lot of student organizations on campus at DU, and by doing that, I was able to learn a lot and gain from that experience. And one of those things that I was able to gain was a community. I was really able to build a community right off the jump. So especially as a freshman, it's very intimidating for a lot of people, and it's hard to make connections right initially. And by being involved in the student organizations, a lot of times, a lot of people are trying to get to know other people because that's why they're there. So by being involved in the student organizations earlier, I was able to build connections right at the start. And by doing that, I was able to also build a support system for myself in college. Not only maybe when I need support in academics, but also when I need support personally. I had that system there to support me and people that I could rely on. Additionally, by being involved in student organizations and building a community, you're able to learn from others, not only about their academic path or their career path, but also about their experiences, their backgrounds, their perspectives, which is really all great information to allow you to build your mindset and build your knowledge, which is really important as a college student. Another great benefit of being involved in student organizations is also just learning up more about yourself, right? There's a lot of organizations where there are niche things that they do, right? There's some that, for example, it's a sewing club, it's a knitting club, there's a healthcare information club, there's a medical chat club, and all these different clubs give you insight into things that maybe you weren't really sure about, you didn't really know more about, and it allows you to not only maybe further your own passions that you have, but also discover new hidden interests that might be something that you want to carry on in your college career. And it allows you to do that in a less formal way instead of, for say, a course which has a lot of pressure on you to finish that course and go through with all that, versus you're able to learn a lot of different things about yourself just by being involved in these organizations. Additionally, especially being on the executive boards, you're able to build leadership because you're able to take on a role as a leader without the pressures of being in a professional setting or being in a very formal setting. You're still able to help lead others, but in a way that you're still able to reflect upon yourself. Additionally, you're able to also build people skills by doing that. Because for one, you're interacting with other individuals that you may not be familiar with, but also you're able to just be an organization where everyone's trying to learn something new, and that forces you to get out of your comfort zone and get to know people and ask people questions, which is really important as in any field you go into. And lastly, you're able to build confidence not only by just understanding yourself, but having more of a better community on campus. You're able to feel like you belong. You're able to feel that you have the confidence to do what you want because you're kind of putting yourself out there. You're making yourself uncomfortable, which is really important to eventually, well, to overall gain confidence. So furthermore, you are definitely able to use your experience in student organizations to build your resume and further strengthen your interview skills. But hopefully, that's not the forefront motivation in getting involved in these student organizations. It's really easy to go into these organizations that you are truly passionate about, that you truly care about, and still build your resume and your interview. So hopefully, this is something that is not, again, not the most important thing that you think about when doing student organizations, but it is definitely something that is a benefit. By having these experiences, either as a membership and especially as a leader, you're able to put that on your resume, especially for college students that don't have a lot of work experience, which is fairly common. Having the other experiences that you can draw upon, that you can show on your resume, shows the recruiter that you are someone who likes to get involved, you're someone who likes to grow, which is a really important skill in any industry that you enter. Additionally, by being involved in student organizations, it allows you to have a talking point when questions such as how have you demonstrated collaborations? How have you demonstrated your leadership skills? Those questions typically come up in interviews, and by being involved in these student organizations, you're able to pull on those experiences that you might have had in those organizations to have a better, well-rounded answer in these questions that are really important in these interviews that you have. And lastly, and even in my experience, there are times where interviewers will see an organization that you're a part of on campus and ask a little bit more about that because they're interested in that or they've been involved in something similar to that. So it allows for a mutual connection with yourself and the interviewer, which it just allows for a better, less formal conversation to take place in the interview, which allows the interviewer to feel more comfortable and give you more comfort and just overall improve your interview overall. So not only is student organizations able to help you grow professionally and personally, but it also allows you to excel academically too. And that is because by having a student organization that you can go to, maybe at the end of the day, you're able to have an outlet from a lot of the academic pressures that you face in college. And by doing that, you're able to take a mental break from the academic things that you're working on. And that allows you to grow because that allows you to just have a clearer mind when you go into these academic difficulties and hardships in your courses, which is very much expected in any college experience. Additionally, a lot of clubs actually have resources for academic support. For instance, in my case, I was involved in a club where I where it was like a Japanese club and we all could speak the language, and that really helped me just get better at Japanese, which was the class I was taking at the time. And another example is women in business. I was able to be surrounded by other women that were a part of the business major, and I was able to ask for support that they have or resources that they use when they were going through the same academic struggles that I were going through, and that allowed me to just strengthen my academic performance in a lot of the courses that I took. Additionally, and this is one of the really important things about being in a student organization, you're also able to have support from others, especially when you're going through those academically rigorous times, because you're able to, one, maybe not feel like you're alone in this, but two, you're able to have people that you know you can rely on, other people that you can ask that are in the same boat as you that are more than happy to support you in these difficult times. So, with all that being said, I do hope that all of this has been able to persuade you to be more involved in student organizations and clubs because, like I said, I really gained a great deal of experience and knowledge, and so have a lot of my peers. So, I hope that you get involved, and I can't wait to hear of all the great things that you accomplished through that. And yes, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.